That was the hospital I tried calling. I'm trying Josh's phone number.
Yeah, sorry, I missed your call. This is Gary Gunter. Leave your name and number. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. Thank you.
After you have finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Hey Josh, it's Allie. It's Monday evening around 6:55. I'm trying to reach out to you just to touch base and see how you're doing, see what's going on. Give me a call when you get a chance, when you get the message, okay? Okay, bye. Yeah, he went to the hospital the other morning. Friday morning or Saturday? Days blend into one another here. But the night before, so he's been having, he's had like 5 or 6 hernias. I found this out when the ambulance came, when his friend John called the ambulance. And again, they've been trying to set me up this whole entire time. I've lived in this sequestered environment for over 5 years. But I've known the whole entire time that that's what the bad guys do. They get you closer. They sequester you in their clutches. This is exactly what the situation is. And I've been onto it the whole entire time, but there's nothing, I can't do anything else. There's no other options for me. So, you know what I mean? So the only thing I can do is try to do the best that I can and be as kind as I can and try to make sure that the bad guys realize that they don't need to harm me. I'm not a threat to anybody. That's all I can do. But so anyway, so he's been having his hernia issues and pain and major pain, and he's gone to the hospital a couple times. But it's this what I'm trying to tell you is that this is what the setup is going to be based on: some kind of claim of elder abuse or something. He's already demonstrated his ability to talk on the phone like the bank or whatever and talk about how everybody's doing him wrong. Everybody's taking him from him. He's already got that out there. And I've already told him on the record. I've already written it down. I've already done as much as I can do to protect myself. That I have nothing to do with any of that. And that's not appropriate. And he's like possessed by demons. He's got a personality switch. Well, so anyway, he's been having these pains and we're talking, he'll sit there moaning and banging the wall. It's like, what do you want me to do? He already knows my situation. I've been transparent about everything to him. I tell him everything about what they're up to, what it looks like the situation is. I've talked to him about everything just to get his reaction, just to see what he says, just to try to have the truth, between us. So he already knows I'm not going to be able to be involved in anything. They're trying to cause me to join their jurisdiction or to get in front of their faces so that they can have any one of their people, their EMT people, their anybody, say something about me. That's what they need. They need an interaction with me and some external force, person, organization. That's what. So I've already told him, you need to be able, you need to be competent, Josh. You need to be competent. You need to call the ambulance when you need an ambulance. You need to do that. I'm not able to do it. And I'm terrified of the situation. And I'm a big deal, okay? The information that I have evidence of proves that the world powers want me dead. They've got my child. So this is a bigger situation than you. And I need you to know that. And his brother's here even. And I told him the same thing too. You guys need to help each other. Well, again, that doesn't help them out very much when I tell them exactly what they're up to and that I'm not going to let them get away with it and that I'm putting it on the record. But they're still going to try. And that's what this Atlas, information that's coming out in the media is about. They're talking about me. They're describing a person, not a comet. And they're using their Satan speak to do it. They're using their Satan speak. If you just listen to what they're saying, and if you just look at the smiles on their faces, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's absolutely terrorizing. It's terrorizing me because this what they're basically, let me see if I can get my history. I posted like multiple comments on this one. Avi Loeb, this guy and this other guy, Dr. Brian Keating. Avi Loeb, what is 3i Atlas? These guys have a smug smile on their face. Just watch that video. It's called Avi Loeb, semicolon, what is 3i/Atlas, ? And it's on Dr. Brian Keating's website. So I'm going to read some of the comments that I've posted just to put it on the record. Because I posted this on one of those Michio Kaku ones. Let's see here. I don't know if I where did it go? Okay, there's that one. Okay, here's the first one. I said, I am posting what I posted on another channel. Look at your faces. Yeah, well, I'm not falling for it. Nice try, though. You keep using all of your might to attempt to write me out of the equation. And it is interesting how you are describing being tagged and observed in their laboratory. They refuse to communicate directly with you and all the assumptions you jump to. And that is how you all are treating my daughter and I. You will find out the consequences of your erroneous calculations and torturous violence against me and my child. This data, this post done with AI using this guy's voice, world people, this is their whole point for creating technology. Because they knew, since these Satan-worshipping weirdos slaughtered Christ, the woman ruler of the old world, they knew she would be sent in again like she has throughout history. Their whole digital metaverse they created specifically so they could preempt measures to prevent her from rising again, and to try to capture that Tinkerbell in their digital jar so they could study and torture her to death. The way you all are connecting Jupiter into this propaganda campaign, show us the data, all of it. Prove your assertions. Well, that woman is me, and I feel confident enough to say this out loud. God didn't send me and our daughter in here alone or without evidence. God didn't send us in without protection from God's armies of heaven and hell. So keep it up. You're trying to antagonize exactly what I'm doing, speaking out, but this is going to be it. I'm not going to play into your ignorant stupidity and whatever God does with all of you liars and false idol worshipers, inputting data into your markers of the beast system, whatever God does with you, with time, with this whole situation is going to be a tried and true decision. So be it. I don't read the future. God gives me what I need when I need it. Laughing out loud about your attempt to make it sound like I'm not relevant. You may not realize who I am yet then either, just as I am tasked with remembering all of who I have been time and time again that my child have been here. So I am peaceful and without irritation, because this is what I expect from mankind. I know God is in charge. Man is getting put in his place, and his lies are getting even that much more desperate and pathetic, like the fools men are who destroyed the paradise that God built for us, and man did not invent any of. All man invented are the premeditated false history narratives. Just remember what the actual Holy Word says, not the false translations compiled by the Vatican and the four corners of man's world about Christ. Jesus of Nazareth was not the Christ of Isaiah 53. My arms have been sealed by the hand of God. God has placed the tzaddik on me. I'm the place of the name, the arm of Gadon, the leader of the orbs, just like it shows in the royal regalia of God's kingdom. I almost don't believe anything about this 3i Atlas cometh of yours. This all could be part of your conspiracy against God's cosmic authority. Well, I'm going to kick up my feet and sit back and watch you people manage this one. And then I said, you guys seem to enjoy saying the word spirit. Look at the smiles on your faces. You guys couldn't hide your bias even if you all were scientists with integrity and speakers of truth. Listen to you guys beating around the bush, laughing out loud. Look, this guy says, why do we call them hemorrhoids? My last name's Hemi. Hemisphere, not Semite sphere. Then I said, the way you guys are talking is in science jargon language. You say the only way to know is to drill a hole in? In what? In the forehead of this animal? You mean like the laboratories you committed, the lobotomies? you committed against the female population you put in insane asylums when you all took this planet civilization under siege? How sick and disgusting. You're not authorized to touch me, to come close to me. And what the people of the public need to know is that these scientists have created a jargon language to mask their actual operations and hide their intent. Be aware and demand evidence, not just their summaries. We want to see the actual data. We demand to see the data and be shown how you calculated it. So show us the real footage of the embedded information. Show us the information where names were provided. Prove it. I do not consent to this torture of my daughter and I. I do not consent to allowing any of you to come near me, and I have never consented to give you my sequences and genetic data. Your questions expose the dark energy that is in man, not woman. Get it straight. You wish to continue conducting human research violence against all of us. The whole population has been used as human research experiments. You even have set aside money to pay out any judgments if any experiment subject survives and can accomplish prosecuting all of you. It's called the Patient-Centered Outcome Fund. You are all ordered to disclose the truth of your intent and your operations. Every single lie told by any one of you putting this information out there will be held personally liable in your personal capacity. My case is a $100 trillion case, and you are on notice of being enjoined. You all have stolen my identity. This is the standard scapegoat atonement of your Satan worship. The people need to stand up against the scientific tyranny. And then I said, haha, you guys are basically describing this atlas like a subject you are surveilling that you intend on deeming mentally incompetent. This polarization, do you guys hear the way you are describing this object? First of all, do you guys hear the way they are describing this object? First of all, there is an expert on the interstellar object that I am, and that is me. I'm the one who can answer your questions. I'm the one who has the authority to allow any investigation of me and my constitution. Violating my privacy and my ownership, exclusive ownership of myself, my child. She's been stolen on paper through the system. She's not the daughter of Jorge or Elon. They've stolen her and my other fetus and our trade secrets that belong to me and no one else. Not the Moore men, not the Hemis, not the Copelands, not the Kleins, the Oslinkers, the Manicheris, the Cuts, the Jorges, the Magañas, the Vasquezes, the Martinezes, the Hengels. Listen to their words and their looks on their faces when they make these ambiguous statements that are directly speaking to the investors among the public who are vampire voyeurs who want to hear from the science community what they plan to do to deal with comets. Wink, wink. Come, E.T. My presence here. Like he said, he would like to scoop up some future interstellar object. Meaning they are setting the stage of precedent to validate them scooping up anyone who they determine at any future moment originated interstellarly, like me who incarnated through the WOW signal. Scoop up some material from this object and bring it back to Earth and check if that material has the building blocks of life. That is talking sequence. They are trying to hijack their way into the divine realm. This is what their whole agenda is and has been about this whole time. So he is talking about those WALK, registered trademark of the U.S. military that authorizes deploying a non-marked vehicle to transport a victim they are rescuing. Those human organ transport traffickers in every city waiting to live harvest a human's organs. They are sick, twisted creeps. People listen to them. Where is my daughter? Her brain, her womb. Where are you keeping her? This is their cedar ritual of kidnapping my Fico man for ransom. And the ransom demand is to force me into entering their jurisdiction just to find out what they have done with my daughter since 9 years ago, which is when they will justify taking me into their clutches and they will accuse me of choosing to sacrifice myself because the God they believe wants slaughter of divinity. The God they worship is the devil inside of them. They are holding her hostage for ransom of my brain and my womb et al. He says, if I had an opportunity to hitchhike 3i Atlas, I would love to take it for a ride out of the solar system. So this is saying in plain English, cause me to be put on the streets, since I am in the only safety there is, a private property they don't have jurisdiction over, which is why they have the man they sequestered me with in the hospital right now, with his brother behaving extremely oddly. They are planning to make this hitchhike situation my next reality. Why are they talking like this about a so-called comet, people? He says 10,000 years CE. CE is the acronym for chemical engineers. Or Cerium, or Ceres, like Cirrus. They are talking about someone they are calling an element. Fifth Element movie? A steel gray, an incandescent mantle. Look at their faces. Loeb said he would buy a ticket and he would love to ride such a fast object out of the solar system. Like rape to death, like they're doing in Israel and Palestine? The other dude showed a rocket that looks like a penis probe. said he thinks they can start selling shares to supplement their academic incomes. Speaking of fun things, he goes on to say, Loeb says the remnant, aka child, must have been kicked out. They haven't detected a pulsar, meaning a heartbeat, a living signal. Sounds like they plan on accusing me of something they have rigged their system to pretend is true. Even though they committed a 6-person massacre in Visalia, January 16, 2023, including an Alyssa, a teenager and her 10-month-old son, and they harassed me through their telecom cartels the evening before that happened to try to cause me to believe my daughter is dead, which was the day that I emailed the kidnapper Jorge to return her to me and do the right thing. Look at the smiles on their faces when discussing violence in their neighborhoods. Quote, these blast waves often are unstable to fragmentation. They have my child hostage. She is a lot like 16 years of pure copper, ICU intelligence, and plugged into a computer. They have turned her into a boy because they have premeditated this overwriting God's code with man's genetic identity. Literally, I am not exaggerating anything. This is all based on the implications in the data. They are being such arrogant creeps. Pronouns of this thing? Put a jet to deflect the solar wind? He spoke to Professor Josh Wynn. You mean the name of the man, Josh, the successor of Moses? Wynn, like Las Vegas, the company my brother works for, David, and Josh being whom I have been sequestered with. The special recon Marine who they have in the hospital right now to conjure up some assault, some frame-up setup to cause me to be hitchhiked. Josh is the face on the Shroud of Turin, literally, which I suspect they planted my blood on and may have even planted his likeness. Who knows? But the blood of Christ cannot be found in a man. They cannot carry or pass on the bloodline. Only a woman can. Josh is hard up for money. Loeb said, is there anything abnormal about the comments? They are talking about this right here. They are threatening me and they have me shadow banned, and that is why I am putting this here. So at least the intelligence can hear my prayer for protection from man, from these mad scientists, from these evil Satan worshippers. They are saying out loud that they want my brain to research on. And here is what you need to listen to. I am not insane or mental or violent or threatening. I have been as kind as I can, having to survive these back-to-back attempts to murder me 9 years long and still continuing. I am no one's enemy or foe. They're the ones against God's design and God's appointment of me with authority that puts them all out of business. That is why they want me dead and to study my experimenting on my brain in man's slaughter mechanisms. I can validate my assertions with evidence associated to their genetic fuckery and their markers of the beast system. Don't let them ruin it for all of us. I am no threat to anyone. They've had me chipped since birth, monitored and surveilled all my life. There are 1,800 papers on my data, AliRef, over 600 last year alone. Alec, my child, is CHTOP, and the fetus they stole from me ruined my womb and tried to kill me with chemo, which I escaped apoptosis by chemotherapy in the registered security. I'm just giving these clues to the FBI or whatever of evidences, which shows they have done loss of function, gain of function research associated to my child. Loss of function would equal certain death. And then they had me set up with legal assault and kidnap my daughter, October 25th, 2016. I have overwhelming evidence that they have mapped the human genome on my information and have been unaliving people through their cancer fraud while they do their evil research. They are going to claim anything they can. Try, like suggesting I am a hybrid that they created, is what they will try to assert. They will try to claim I am a creation of theirs, but they are God-hating demon worshippers. Every single individual will be held accountable for participating in this evil violence, will be held accountable by God. Just as the scripture says, I'm not threatening anyone. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Well, none of them are communicating with me, just like they are trying to posture us in the position of typical scapegoat conduct. I have heard enough. You are all to cease and desist immediately this violent harassment and threats using the only form of communication that I have access to, the internet and social media. Cease and desist this evil harassment. I'm willing to participate in gathering data that is good and with proper purpose and function, but you guys know this is not about progress or scientific need to know. This is about you men being a parasite that has taken over the humans you are acting through. You guys are, not me. And your interest is in power and control and wanting to overcome God. But you guys don't realize that the Dark Lord you think is on your side is God the sheep in wolf's clothing who's about to see the deception and catch you red-handed. So freeze and drop your weapons and put your hands where we can see them and show us the data. Your manner of evaluating it, and someone investigate these in-your-face threats I have mentioned just some of in this peaceful post. God protects God's creation, and God has this all planned to prove to us that God exists. It is only you paranoids who are asserting onto Atlas your own insecurities like the narcissists you are. I possess full mental competence with no violent aversions. I have committed no crimes or violence. I have not consented to any of this, and no one has been given any power of attorney over me or my daughter. That's all I can do. All I can do is try to is be honest, is be kind, is be calm. But I have to play this situation of having to do what I can, even though I know they got me shadow banned. And they even said it in other manners in my face. There's a fake phone filled with fake Instagram posts to make me think that I'm so that way I can respond all I want and do no damage, as they asserted through Saturday Night Live, which this last Saturday Night Live has so many like Simpsons show prediction level insinuations of the monitoring and surveilling of me 24/7. They prove that they watch it and that they think it's funny and that they want to humiliate me. Well, I actually think it's quite funny. Because I don't have a chip on my shoulder. I don't have a bug up my butt. I'm not a bad guy. These guys are the creeps. And they're using every single excuse that they have premeditated into place. This is the preemption of those evils that are genociding Palestine. This is not about that. This is about the Satan worshippers on this planet that came here through those Anunnakis that messed with the original native genetic structure. They were the ones that created man first, but God created woman without man. And we were birthing God's children, not man's. The enmity put between his seed and her seed, that's them and that's their satanic Bible. The holy word of God is a small book woven within. That Bible of theirs is their Satan word. That's their Satan word saying they will put enmity between, that's their Bible, their Satan Bible. And these scientists do you see how they've got this jargon to talk about it in a science way, not even talking about God, so that they can say things like, we need to scientifically evaluate this. No, you guys are talking about Christ and you guys don't want to talk about God, because then you'd have to talk about God. And then that would have to involve me because the people would hear about it. They don't want anybody hearing about me. Well, guess what, intelligence? You're my only hope. You're hearing this, you're seeing this, you can see it for yourself. You've seen it before, you've shown me that you see this. So do something, please. This is terrifying. This is terrorizing. I'm not a superhero. I'm not going to grow a pair of wings. I'm not evil. I don't have any weapons. I'm a human being. That God has given the divine strand connection to God. This is not fair to do to a human being who's simply fulfilling what God has given as a mission. And I'm a good guy. I'm here to help us all. And God has refined me through the fire. This is what God is doing. And the fact of the matter is that even though I know what God has shown me, it doesn't take away the terror. It doesn't. Just because God has shown me that the outcome is good and positive for all of us, and that these guys, if anything, get put in their place, it doesn't take away the terror of what they're doing and what they're saying in my face. What they want me to overreact so that they can get their hands on me. So I go out of my way and I put these posts on social media. That's all I can do. They're hoping I make an actual phone call. They want me in their jurisdiction. It's disgusting. So I know that God protects me, but I shouldn't, and I know that God is giving the outcome to my daughter and I, but God forbid they try to force place slaughtering me and actually killing me. I know God will bring me back, but my point is that nobody wants to be slaughtered. Nobody wants to be tortured to death. What have you done with my daughter? They are researching mind memory wiping, brain upload, brain download. They want my brain. They want my womb. Don't let them have it. Shut them down. And dear God, Atlas and the angels and the other galactic forces, come here now and make them freeze. That's my final answer. As God is my witness, you will not fuck with me anymore. We've got this. The parasite in man's mind is what needs to be dealt with. Look at the smiles on their faces. Sickening. Sickening. This penis probe. Sickening. It's just sickening. Legions of angels protect me and my daughter. and put a stop to these madmen.